Shalom. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. It's the brother Azariah here with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. And basically, hey man, I just came across this lesson. I don't know what I'm entitled it, but I came across this video, okay, and it's basically it's called Criminals Gone Wild, Part 2, Menace to Humanity. And as you can kind of see and probably tell by the title, okay, for those of you who don't know, let's just go ahead, because I never saw this before. And if I did see it, I don't remember what it was called, but I don't remember seeing this. Anyway, so yeah, this is a video documentary that was done in the streets of New York primarily, and other places as well are depicted on this video, where you see niggas doing nigga shit, okay? They got their guns, they got the, they're robbing people, they're shooting people, and it just goes to show you how far Jake has fallen, because if you didn't know no better, you would think this was the natural state of Jake, okay? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? You would think this was your natural state, it's crazy because, the scriptures talk about there being like let's get it, okay? And for anybody who doesn't believe that the curses truly fit you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and that you are the biblical Israelites, and that the curses are a primary way of identifying that, well, let's read this, man. Deuteronomy 28:15 says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy power, or Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." Now, Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the name of his son, okay? For those of you who don't know that, all right? Now, it's said that if you don't listen unto the voice of the Most High and do all his commandments and statutes, that these curses is going to come upon, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Now, if you didn't know that so-called black, Latinos, and Native Americans were the Israelites, okay, this is a way that you identify who the Israelites are, okay? Because no one on the earth is keeping perfectly the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, the God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And so, by default, the people of the Lord would be in these conditions, okay, that you see here, okay? All right, let's see here. Okay, let's get the point. I'll read verse 45. Verse 45 says, "Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou listen not," which that's what that word hearken means, to listen, "because thou listenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee." Okay, "and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever." Okay, forever. Now that word there for forever is olam, which means a set period of time, which eventually these curses will be taken off of the children of Israel, but not until the Messiah returns. Okay, when the Messiah returns, there shall be no more curse, but until he returns, you're going to have these curses upon you. And there's plenty of curses in here that only fit you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, now let me find this. Okay, so Laki, I'm gonna have to do a word search to find it. I'm just gonna type in proverb, verse 37. So Deuteronomy 28:37 says, "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Most High shall lead thee." Okay, and there's a stigma that comes with you Negroes, And like I said, if you hadn't known better, If you don't know any better, you would think this is the natural state of these people to be like, like you say, like you other nations say, and you Edomites say, like monkeys in the zoo. And that's how Jake carries themselves right now. Okay, that's exactly how you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans carry yourselves, like monkeys in a zoo. Okay, that's Salaki. All right, Salaki, I had to go check something, but yeah, you niggas is like monkeys in the zoo, man. You fit the stereotypes that these proverbs, okay, that these nations have about you, because Jake is unruly. Let's get some scriptures. Lamentations 4 and verse 1. How has the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Okay, and we used to be. Matter of fact, let's see here. Jerusalem used to be, okay, Salaki, I don't think I can find it, but Israel used to be, Salaki, 1 second. All right, Salaki, for the interruption. So, like I said, like I was about to say, this is what the heathen say. This is what people say when they see you now, man. Because Israel was created to be the most righteous nation on the planet, okay? The children of the Most High, sons and daughters of the Most High, Yahshua Allah, okay? Prince of Power. Lamentation 2 and 15. All that pass by, let me make sure. This is 2. Okay, and 13, I'll say. What thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion? For thy breach is great like the sea. Who can heal thee? Thy prophets have seen vain and foolish things for thee, and they have not discovered thine iniquity, to turn away thy captivity, but have seen for thee false burdens and causes of banishment. Damn. You see? The Lord said, thy breach is great like the sea. That's like you got a wound. You got a wound in your body, and it's just so wide, that it's just, you can't close it. You can't stitch it. You just through. You're through. You through. You're dead. You're destroyed. It's over. But that's pretty much how it is for the majority of our people. Because in these times, a remnant have returned to the Most High, okay, and will be saved, okay. But 2/3 of the house of Israel, man, they're dead. They're spiritually dead, even though they're walking around with so-called alive bodies. They're walking around alive. But the Messiah put forth this enigma, or this scenario, or this situation, this parable, so to speak, in the scriptures when he said, let the dead bury the dead. How can dead bodies bury other dead bodies? Well, they're spiritually dead, then there's physically dead. Okay? And 2/3 of the house of Israel are spiritually dead. All right? And so, that's in these false prophets, these false pastors, they preach and teach you, they teach to you that you can do whatever you want, do as thou wilt, that you can basically, walk around and then do all these sins and then feel real bad about it, feel real sorry, say a little prayer here and there, and then suddenly be forgiven for all the iniquity that you've done your whole life, and so-called make it into heaven. Which, when you die, everybody goes into the spiritual realm and goes up to the Heavenly Father. So, that's neither here nor there. Okay, everybody so-called goes to heaven when they die. Okay, but you're not going to be the first fruits in the kingdom of heaven, living a life full of iniquity, and then saying a little quick sinner's prayer right before your judgment. All right, that's not how things go. Now let's continue with the scriptures. Lamentations 2:15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem. They be like, damn, shoot, you know, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? You see, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we look for. We have found, we have seen it. You see, the Lord have done that which he devised. He hath fulfilled his word that he had commanded in the days of old. He hath thrown down and have not pitied, and he hath caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He hath set up the horn of thine adversaries. You see? And hey, that's what he said. He fulfilled his word that he commanded in the days of old. And what was that talking about? Well, that's talking about Deuteronomy. The curse that he laid out for you. The curses that was there where it said you was going to be, you know, these things were going to be a sign and a wonder upon you and upon your seed forever. That you were going to be in this condition if you disobeyed him. Well, we're still in that condition to this day. And to this day, like Deontay Wilder said, which, you know, he said it a lot more forcefully. But still, to this day, you're still in this condition. To this day, your enemies are lifting up themselves over you and killing you and getting away with it. To this day, you're at the bottom of every society. And the simple fact is the Lord said it would be this way for our disobedience. Okay. And he made good on his word. And that's why you see this type of stuff here, you know. And there's definitely more, you know, that was going on, man, in the beginning of this, you know, I don't even want to go into it all. Honestly, the first video was certain things, and then in this video you saw somebody get shot. You know, it's so crazy to even see it that it's like you question whether or not it's real, you know. But we know that niggas do this type of shit every day. All right, Isaiah 51:20. Okay, Isaiah 51:17. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of Yahweh the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling and wrung them out. Right, the Most High put upon us all type of wickedness and cursings, and like he depicted in Deuteronomy 28. He put us in the slavery. They killed us. They raped, robbed, murdered, killed in every form imaginable that you can think of. Okay, so we've drunken the dregs of that cup, the bitter sediment, the nasty part we've taken the nasty part of the cup of trembling, and we wrung it out. Okay, there is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought up. Nobody has come out and has healed our people. Nobody's come out, of the nation of Israel, of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. As of yet, not one leader has been able to heal the entire nation and bring us together. Why? Because the Lord have not set it up to be that way. Only person that's going to be able to do that is Yahweh Shai, who the world angrily calls Jesus Christ. 19. Isaiah 51:19. These two things are come unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Okay, these things are coming upon you. Who how can you be comforted, man? Look at what's happening to you. You see? Verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets. As a wild bull in a net, they are full of the fury of the Most High, the rebuke of thy power. You see? Therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Okay? Because Jake is drunk off these different philosophies and these different ways of living. Okay? Jake is fully, hey man, even that gangster life, even that's a wine. That's a philosophy. You have to when you're into that, man, you have to practice it and perfect it. Okay? You get groomed up, so to speak, to be a gangster, man. You get taught how to be heartless. You get taught how to do certain things, you know. So that even that would be considered as a philosophy that our people is drunk with. That thug life, you see, so to speak, and you get indoctrinated with it through the damn music, man. Kill a nigga, shoot a nigga, do the nigga, do the nigga, thug life, baby, all that other shit, man. Jake really get indoctrinated and get taught how to be a gangster, man. Okay. Isaiah 1 and 1. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Most High have spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. Yep, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, you have rebelled against the Most High, which is why you're under these curses, man. Verse 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know, my people do not consider. My people doth not consider, and that's right, Even the ox knows who owns it. The ox is supposedly a dumb, stubborn animal, but even it knows who owns it. And the ass, it knows its master's crib. Okay, even a donkey knows who where home is. But our people don't know, and our people don't consider. Verse 4, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Most High. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. And that's what you see on that video. Why should you be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. You see? Hey man, so the Lord's putting us under these curses, but rather than repent unto the Most High and seek, follow the things that the Lord said, seek peace with all men, this, that, and the other, hey man, Jake, rather than do that, Jake would just keep on, Jake getting beat and still doing the same thing. You ever seen, I don't think I've ever seen that. I mean, I guess I'm pretty sure it exists. A kid that continuously getting in trouble. You can even go to adults continuously going to jail for the same thing and just keep going back for the same thing. But some people get institutionalized. But imagine you getting the living daylights beat out of you, for not just for no reason, but because of something you did, and then you go back and do it again. What's the point? What's the point, man? Then you get the crap beat out of you and you still doing the same thing? Verse 6, from the sole of the foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, meaning it's not healthy. Sound mind and sound body mean of a healthy mind and a healthy body, and there's no healthiness, there's no soundness, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Okay, and this is a what would you like to call it? This is like a parable. Okay, imagine the whole house of Israel being a body. You see? So even from the foot unto the head, there is no soundness in it. There's no soundness in us as a nation. Now, of course, the house of David is being built up and the breaches are being sealed. Okay. All right. So there's a portion of the house of Israel that is being healed, but the rest of it is just going to be left to get burnt up. You see? Verse 7, the country is desolate, your cities are burdened with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate and overthrown by strangers, which is a part of the curses in Deuteronomy 28. Okay, your land is taken by those fake Jays, man, the ones who say that they are what does it say? That say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Right. Ezekiel 22 and 17, and the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because ye are all become dross. Behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem. Okay? As they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it, so will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. Right, so the Most High is going to let 2/3 of the house of Israel be burned by nuclear fire, man. Nuclear destruction. And primarily, that destruction is going to happen here in America, Babylon the Great, okay? All right. Okay, so that was Deuteronomy. I think that's pretty much it, you know. So, hey, yeah, man. So you see it, you know. This is Jake. You know, we were supposed to be a nation of kings and priests, a holy people, a peculiar people, okay? And now what are we? A nation of gangsters and thugs and pimps and murderers, you know? And that's all our people know, man. That's all our people know, man. It's wickedness, okay? And wise to do wickedness, but to do good they know it not. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. You know, Salaki for all the interruptions. Lord willing, it was still edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. With that, I want to say Shalom.